Hi, this is Abdul Bhartiya, and in this special issue of TFR Insight, we have with us Rishdale, founder and CEO of Flowlens. Tell us a bit about the company Flowlens. You're also a founder, so I'm also curious about the name itself.
Flowlens is a product that's aimed at small equipment manufacturers. And typically, small equipment manufacturers do a lot of things on spreadsheets and disjointed systems, paperwork, and email. So Flowlens brings together their marketing and sales funnels, plus their inventory and manufacturing and after sales service into one system, and that's where the flow comes from. So rather than disjointed processes across the business, we put the flow into the business right from the start of the customer journey, right the way through manufacturing and delivery and then after sales service. And then the lens element, it's a really good question because most businesses and small businesses don't have the data and even the time needed to find data about the performance of their business, because they're so busy spinning plates and trying to get the day-to-day work done. And because Flowlens captures everything from inbound inquiries, sales pipeline, quotations, orders, stock levels, production jobs, customer interactions, everything. You have data there in real time that you can trust, and that basically you can make decisions on, which people just aren't used to having whenever they're trying to extract information from spreadsheets or email or just remember things, which is very typical in a small business.
If you look at MRP space, what are the unique either challenges or requirements that are there for them versus any other industry?
For smaller manufacturers, you're talking about teams that are very capable, but they're very small. So you have people that are maybe engineering and sales, or technical and production, or looking after inventory. So you find people that are juggling, or wearing a lot of hats, is another way of putting it. So and that has the risk that if somebody leaves the business, or they're on vacation, or they just forget something, that it can slip through the cracks. And that's one of the reasons why we produced Flowlens, because we used to be a bespoke development agency, and we worked with businesses like this, and we could see the types of problems that they had, and that's why we decided to productize that.
When they look at your software stack, are you offering something which your users can download and run locally, or do you offer something which is SaaS or cloud-based?
No, so Flowlens is completely cloud-based. People use it on their phone, their tablet, wherever they are, they can use it on the go. But I've been a cloud first my whole career, and Flowlens is a cloud only product, and that's great because particularly in this current era of COVID, where people have been able to work from home, work remotely, but also interface with other systems, particularly account systems, where we interface with Xero, QuickBooks, and Sage. So just the web really is the great enabler of all of that.
Now, since you're purely cloud-based, which also means that your needs for infrastructure is different from those companies who just offer something you can download and install and run locally, because you are running applications for your users. So can you talk about what are your infrastructure needs?
From an infrastructure point of view, we have a diverse range of customers, and they all have different needs, and therefore the ability to have individualized applications and be able to deliver infrastructure that works for each customer. Also the ability to ensure that it's running smoothly, and availability is a huge thing for us, because things are happening, processes are happening in our customers on a minute by minute basis. And that availability is also critical for us.
Where do you run your own cloud?
Whenever we first started out, we were using an alternative provider, but we soon discovered Linode. In fact, our lead architect was using Linode for one of his personal projects, And we could see that Linode was going to give us the scalability that we were looking for. As the product has matured, we've been recruiting more and more customers, but also most importantly, the customer support. That we found that with other larger providers, the support level wasn't really that interested in us as a business, and anticipating our needs and proactive to our needs. They were proactive about renewing our contract, and that was about it. Whereas with Linode, we've really found a partner that scales with us, appreciates those growing pains, but on a day-to-day basis is very reactive to individual situations or requirements. And I think the other thing that's really reassuring is I can wake up in the morning and see an email that, activity has happened on a particular server proactively to deal with issues. So they're anticipating problems and dealing with them before we even know about them, which is great.
What other unique value Linode brought to you? You did talk about, keeping you updated with, what our changes are going on and very, kind of responsive. Beyond that, what else was there that you liked about them?
Well, I think obviously it comes down to price as well. And Linode offer a really competitive service. It's very transparent, and you can see how the costs scale as you scale. And I think again, compared to some of the other offerings out there, when you compare the level of support that you get, the uptime, the availability, the power and modernity of the infrastructure with the price point, it's really unbeatable.
Today, most people are also leveraging a lot of emerging and latest technologies. So if I am not wrong, Linode, they are now offering Kubernetes. They are also offering software, defined storage. They're also offering GPU. So does it also kind of help you because, as your business grow and you want to leverage a lot of new technologies, you can also get those versus where you are stuck in a kind of data center like setup where you are kind of isolated from latest innovation.
I think the other thing we liked about Linode is that as the innovation keeps happening and the product evolves, that we know that they're always supporting new technologies, and that the ability to experiment with those, it's not prohibited in terms of either cost or availability, that they're there, and they've got great resources to learn from as well. So yeah, I mean, it definitely is the real deal in terms of that full suite of partnership kind of services and infrastructure services.
Has there ever been any experience dealing with their support team, or things were working so smoothly that you never had to call them up?
I think I'm pleased to say that ordinarily things are pretty smooth, so we don't have cause to speak to Linode support on a weekly, never mind a daily basis, or maybe even monthly. And it's partly because they've got that proactivity happening. You can see things are being upgraded. If they spot a problem on a particular device, it's being hot swapped before we even know about it. But whenever we do have interactions with support, they're personal, they're detailed, they're quick. You're not waiting around for a reply, and they always seem to be genuinely interested in solving the problem.
Your company is growing with the customer base. What role does a partnership with a company like Linode play in kind of enabling you to move as fast as you want?
I think Linode are structured in such a way that because the pricing is transparent, the technology is transparent, we can make decisions about how we're growing and how they can support us. And they also, part of that partnership program, that comes back to you as well in terms of that scaling. So I think whenever you're looking at your business model and you're looking at all the dynamics that are at play, they're having the sort of Linode platform and having that transparency of how it's priced, how it stacks up, how it's going to evolve as we grow, gives us confidence. It also gives us confidence that we can bring to our customers, because if you think about a small manufacturing business, that they're not used to technology of this kind, they're not used to the cloud maybe. But we can point to Linode, we can demonstrate the quality of the partnership that we have, we can demonstrate their credentials in terms of security and compliance and the footprint that they have worldwide. So from that point of view, there's the tactical business model cost piece, but also strategically, it plays a big part in how we win business and how we can continue to grow and also deal with different geographical demands as they arise.
Awesome. Rich, thank you so much for taking your time out and talking to us, and not only explain more about Flowlens, also explain the MRP space and your collaboration or partnership with Linode. Once again, thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Swap.